Hi, my name is Patty and I'm doing a baking challenge. I release a video every Friday. Welcome to this week's video. Now, let's find out what I'm baking this week. Macaron. Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this week we are going to make another French dessert, another classic from French patisserie. So we're making macarons. I've made them a few times and I think they are one of the hardest things to make because, at least to me, the problem usually is consistency. I made some that turned out good, some were okay, some were not good, so that's usually the problem for me, and it's difficult to find out why they don't work sometimes, and sometimes they work. So let's see how they turn out this time. They are basically almond and egg white cookies. You usually find them in many different colors and flavors. So we are going to make a few flavors today, and I think we should start now and see how they turn out. Okay, let's do this. First, we add half of our egg whites to a stand mixer bowl with cream of tartar. Ingredients are listed below, and we let it rest for like 30 minutes to 1 hour to get to room temperature. And then we start taking care of our dry ingredients. So we process some almond flour because it needs to be very fine, and then we also add some powdered sugar. We will mix these two, and after we process it, we will discard the larger grains of almond flour, and we will need to make up for that flour. So I weighed the amount that I discarded and then added more almond flour. So first we process it, then we sift it. I sifted it 3 times. This is to make sure that the macarons have like a look that is like smooth and doesn't have any flour lumps on top. After that's done and sugar and almond flour is mixed, we start doing a sugar syrup. So just water and sugar, and we'll need to get it to 121 degrees Celsius. When it gets to 115, we can start whipping our egg whites, and then when they get to stiff peaks, we start adding the syrup when that's already at 121 degrees Celsius, like I said. So we pour it on the egg whites to make the Italian meringue, and then it needs to whip until the bowl of the mixer is just a little bit warm, not hot anymore. It's about 5 minutes. After that, we add the egg whites, the rest of the egg whites, which is half, to the almond flour and sugar mixture that we had already prepared. And when that's mixed, we can start adding the meringue. So I usually add the meringue in 3 additions. So this first one is to soften it up, and then we add the other ones. We spread it on the sides of the bowl to make sure that we remove any large bubbles. And this part of the recipe is called macaronnage. And then after we added all the meringue, we need to check the consistency, if we need to keep folding it or if it's already done. So what they always describe as the correct texture is similar to molten lava. So when you have a little bit of it on your silicone spatula and you let it fall, it should fall like molten lava. So I think here it's about done. As you can see, it's a good texture. So I'm about to stop. If I continued, it would get more and more liquid, and then the macarons would spread more. So now I'm preparing the piping bag. And here I already have the macaron shell batter on the piping bag, and I can start piping it. So you can do the size that you like, but to get this similar size, you need to make like 4 or 5 centimeters wide circles, and then it will bake in 20 minutes. But I don't bake it all in one go. I bake for 5 minutes, and then I open the oven, then bake more 5 minutes, open and close again very quickly, and then 7 to 10 minutes. If you make them larger, they will take longer to bake. So it's recommended to bake them in a silicone mat. So as you saw, I piped them, and then I tapped the tray over the countertop just to release the bubbles, and then I go with the toothpick also so that we don't have bubbles on the macarons. Okay, here I'm preparing another tray, and it will be the same process: piping, tapping, and removing some more bubbles. And then the trays need to rest so that a film forms on top of the macarons. So after I pipe them, I leave them on the countertop for like half an hour to an hour so that they get ready before they go into the oven. Here I'm showing you these first ones that I piped. They are ready to go into the oven, and here they are, and this is the result. These were okay. I think my best batch was the last one. They came out more perfect, but I got good results on this bake. And here I'm already making the filling. This is a mascarpone filling, so it's just mascarpone, sugar, vanilla, and then cream. Very quick to make and not as sweet as buttercream, for example. And I already have the filling there, and then I'm also adding some jam and dulce de leche. So I'm going to make a border of mascarpone frosting, and then inside I'm going to add the jam or dulce de leche, as you will see now. But before I start filling them, I need to pair them, because macarons, although they are similar size, they are usually a bit different, sometimes from the other. So we try to match them with the similar ones. Okay, so here I was experimenting with some different looks because I wanted, since I didn't make macarons of different colors, I was experimenting with different toppings just to differentiate the two flavors. Here I'm adding the dulce de leche. I gave up on doing the different toppings because I think they look prettier like this. These are the cherry ones. So it's the next day and now I've made all the macarons and I filled them with both the cherry jam and the dulce de leche, the milk caramel, dulce de leche. Here are some of them. I think these macarons were the best looking ones I've made. This time it was good. Okay, so now let's taste them. Before that, let me just say that the macarons usually need to be in the fridge before they have the ideal texture. So I've left them overnight. Usually it's even recommended to leave them at least 24 hours before, so that they develop the flavor and they get that texture that it's both a little bit crispy on the outside and then it has like a chewy texture inside. So let's see how they are doing now. It's been like maybe 14 hours or more. Okay, let's try one of the cherry ones. I've made them with some dots of cherry. In the beginning I was doing this just so that I knew which ones were cherry, but then I decided not to do it and just store them in different containers, but I don't know if I mix them up now in my plate. Okay, let's see how this tastes. Okay, so yesterday I tried one and it was very crispy and it's normal, and now it's much softer. Yes, they're pretty good. Almondy, cherry. I made them with some mascarpone frosting, so it's not as sweet as they usually are, but it's still a pretty sweet cookie. Okay, so I've cut one in half to make sure that I didn't mix it up with the cherry one. Okay, they are both pretty good. This will be the your favorite will be like your preference. If you like cherries more, if you like the dulce de leche more, so that will be the deciding factor. So I think we can say that this was a success. They are very good and good looking. I just didn't make them with different colors because I didn't want to make different colored batches, and I wanted to give them different flavors, so I didn't think it was good to give them like a different color and then different flavors among the same color, so I just left them this natural beige color. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe if you're trying to make macarons you can learn something from this. I don't know. Thanks for watching. See you next Friday. Bye.